Hey, this is John Carlos, and I'm here with a look at the Breaking Bad Funko Pop of Heisenberg. I think this is a really good looking pop. I think this is a great example of like a good, simple sculpt done well can make for a very effective pop. I mean, his pose is pretty simple, but like the way he's holding the crystal meth, like him holding the gun, coupled with his hat and his sunglasses, I don't know, this is like a really cool looking pop. It's got a lot of really good attitude. Now let's take a closer look at the figure, and I can point out some of the nitpicks because that's what I do. But they're all very minimal. He's got some black paint on the back of his pants there and some brown paint on his pants there. And then he's got a little blue dot of crystal meth paint on his hand and a little black dot on his hand there. And that's it. That's pretty minimal compared to what I'm used to from Funko. These little tiny blemishes really aren't that big of a deal. And overall, the paint scheme on this is really good. His shirt's painted well compared to his coat. I think his belt buckle's very well painted considering how tiny it is. And the little brown belt line as well looks good. His shoes don't fully come up to where the edge of the shoe meets the pants, but that's not too bad. The brown paint for his moccasins and shoelaces looks pretty good. Overall, this is a good looking paint job. The little bag of crystal meth is a nice touch. And I like the fact that it's a little gray at the top for the bag and the blue is the rest. And the gun looks good too. And there's not a lot of like bad black paint going all over the place with the gun. It's a pretty clean paint job onto the hand. So good job to them on that. And speaking of good paint, his goatee is really clean. Like look how perfectly that goatee is painted onto the sculpt of that. I like the sculpted lines and all, but that paint is just perfect. I also like the fact that he's got his eyes underneath the sunglasses, but these sunglasses look rad and do convey a certain kind of Heisenberg-y-ish, like menacing attitude. The sculpt on them is good. They fit the eyes just right. They're clean. Everything on this is pretty clean aside from what I showed you. Look at his hat. There's no like stray paint anywhere. There's like barely like this little tiny nick of schmutz and that's it. The back of his head is clean. This is overall just a really well done pop. Maybe like the cleanest, best pop I've seen in this line. Now there may be other pops in this series of figures I like more, like Mike and Saul, and there might be pops that I think have better details like the hazmat suits and the quality of the masks on top of their head, but as far as like the sheer, simple effectiveness of the sculpt and the quality of the pop, man, I think the Heisenberg pop is like the best one in this series. I think it's rad. Thanks for watching.